What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get right into the TA. So we're going to start right off the bat with updating you guys on what I just did. All right, guys, I'm currently in 70th, Feb 3rd, 380s. More than I wanted by this time, but I'm going to be straight up. I'm seeing things on the chart that really do suggest hey, we're probably going to fall into Monday. All right, we're probably going to be guys, keep in mind, worst case scenario, and I'm going to go over percentages like risk here as well, like the pain that I'm exposing myself to. All right, and if you guys are doing the same, then that you guys are exposing yourself to, because you do want to know that. We're going to go look at Weeble after this, after we go over the TA. But yeah, guys, this gap fill does have a high probability of causing at least a temporary reversal point. You haven't gotten this the whole time. All right, you almost got through over there. Shout out to anybody who bought puts on that. I did not. I got suckered on my calls and didn't get to sell. Guys, I am all out of the calls from the put side. I told you guys that I doubled down. I may have done a little more than double down when I saw the news and then saw what happened this morning. I bought a few more as well. And yeah, you guys can see since that buy, I literally bought, I think it was on this candle, we'll say around 380. Massive move there. So congrats to anybody. You guys are right now hitting the gap fill. These are currently going for they're going for 533. All right, so just letting you know, I did enter a bit early. These are down like 6% already, but I'm gonna be honest, I was up quite a bit today from that, and I'm going to be honest, I'm seeing things on the chart that do suggest we are going to cool off at least before we are going to continue the counter trend rally. And I don't think the counter trend rally is over, which is also something I'm going to be going over in this video. But we hit the first spot. I do believe we hit the first spot that I would be looking. So I don't know if you want to do the fib from here or from here, but we're going to use the daily time frame. But the reason I say hey, the counter trend, if it's going to fail, and guys, keep in mind, the reason I'm getting in these right now is hey, I remember being down here, all right? I remember being in all this congestion down here and literally just wanting to rip my hair out because the thought of this thing leaving without me, all right? And now I have the chance to make sure it guaranteed doesn't leave without me. I guarantee a lot of freaking money by the lows, all right? A lot of freaking money that just wasn't guaranteed over there. But yeah, all right? So I went a little heavier than I wanted to here, and that's because I do plan on taking some off the table if we do fall into Monday, all right? We do have news coming out on Monday. We'll actually start with that before going over. And by the way, quick plug to the Twitter, all right? If you guys do want all my on-the-spot TA, it is all going to be here, all right? And yeah, that's that. So we will go a little like that and a little like that. We come over here and you do have on Monday you have this. Okay, now I'm just gonna say right now, you had Bullard come out and he was the most hawkish, all right? But now he's saying that a soft landing is on the table, and in the cards, all right? So I'm just saying, if he's saying something like that, he probably does see signs that inflation is coming down, and he probably does have a, he's probably in agreement with a few other board members there, or Fed members, whatever they are. But I also want to say this, all right? In the minutes, they did express concerns about the fact that they can't have a rally take place, all right? And look at that, guys. So we had our gap fill. Let's see if we do end up coming off over there. This right here is the first level that, I'll say right now, you could reverse off of. And guys, the reason Fibonacci's work, and by the way, if you are not new to this channel, I like the golden pocket, all right? I love having, once we finish a move, I like putting on that golden pocket because typically, this to there, well, where'd we come up to? All right, let's just actually, just for anybody new here, all right, anybody who is new to this channel, this is what I typically do when we have a move down like that or a move up, all right? But we are in a bear market, so we're most likely going to take out, not most likely, we're pretty much guaranteed to take out the slows. We have to price in higher things. But yeah, all right, so you got this right here. This was your golden pocket, and look where you end up stalling out, guys. You literally stalled out in the golden pocket, and we're going to put on the 200 MA. We'll take that off right now. But you got the 200 MA here, 200 MA, trend line resistance, golden pocket. You filled the gap right here. I think it was at 408. Yeah, 408 something. 408.46. All right, you had so much. That's 4 different strong resistances there that are just like, hey, if they're all there, there's a very high likelihood that you're not going to continue going. Plus, you had a triple bearish divergence, like a 5 bearish divergence on DIA, and look at that, guys. Like I said in my written update yesterday, DIA did end up coming down and having a breakout from there off of increased volume. But hey, I told you guys that SPY was holding its trend line, all right? And we had things that on the chart, the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame, they were suggesting that, hey, the charts are actually setting up for, like, it's a higher probability. We could have fallen, but any fall wouldn't have gone far before having a rebound. And I didn't know, like, we didn't know it was going to be this explosive rebound, but I told you guys in that report that my guess was it's going to be a tame or it's going to be a weak report. It's not going to be hot, all right? If it was hot, guys, we would have died, all right? So I'll tell you guys right now, we can actually go over to Twitter. All right, so Twitter. Come over here and come over here. I actually tweeted about it. All right, so we can come right over here. All right. Where did I retweet it? All right, it was right here. All right, so we had the December payrolls at 223K. So they came in hot by 23K. All right, but this 256,000 number right here, that was the lowest number. I don't know exactly in how long, but I remember reading about it. In like 10 years, maybe it was all the way to 2008. I don't know, but we haven't seen that in a while. So even though this did come in a little hotter than the expectation here, what it did do, okay, is it didn't trigger the algos to pretty much sell immediately. It wasn't that bad. All right. And then also the market probably realizes, hey, this is still the lowest number you've had since 2008 or 10 years or whatever that is, right? In quite some time, this is the lowest number, right? So this 223,000 unemployment rate, expected was 3.7. You had a beat on that. Average hourly earnings right here, all right, 4.6% versus the expected 5.0%. So you had fuel to bring you up is what I'm getting at. You had the fuel. Not the fuel to cause the buy algos to step in and just gap you up. That I don't think I would have enjoyed that. All right. And I told you guys, I also may have bought in a few calls. All right. I told you guys yesterday, when I actually tweeted about it, a trend line support, and you had the bullish divergence going on SPY. It was down at on the hourly time frame. It was right. It was probably right over here. Yeah, it was right here. This is where this bullish divergence right here. That's where I ended up. I doubled down on my call side of the strangle. All right, and hey guys. All right, that's just it ended up working out. It did end up working out. But even without that, the strangle still would have performed beautifully because the call side would have almost been in the money now. And now the call side, they should honestly, they should be approaching 405. Yeah. All right. These calls are at 342. All right. So they're approaching 400. If they get in the money, I think they go to around $500. So all in all, guys, success with the strangle that was just meant to catch whatever, like I knew volatility was coming this week. All right. And then last week we had the FOMC thing. All right. FOMC minutes. Well, actually, am I bugging? That was not last week. Was it? I don't care. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Brain fart moment right there. But it doesn't matter. Okay, guys. It doesn't matter. And as you guys see, guys, I don't come here with a bias. Okay. Anybody who thinks I do come with a bias, just realize you're capping to yourself. You're shooting yourself in the foot by like thinking that I'm coming to you guys with a bias. This data is literally the data on the chart. All right. It's not like I'm like, obviously my market experience. I'm sorry if you hear it crunching. Josie, leave it alone. All right. Thank you. Cannot take her bone. Josie's like 50% bigger than Micah. Micah was the litter. Not 50. Actually, yeah, around that. Micah is 26 pounds and Josie is 34, I believe. So there is that. But yeah, sorry if you hear crunching, crackling, whatever you want to call it. They just had beef trachea. So they're just about finished with it right now. So yeah, sorry about that. But these guys are amazing and I love dogs. So that's cool. Maybe you guys love dogs too. I don't know. Guys, dogs are pretty cool. So, but again, don't get a dog unless you can support this dog and give it the best possible life it possibly could have. All right, which I'm going to be honest, guys, requires money. All right, it requires money. All right, so going over the economic calendar, you have that. I do think that's going to be bullish. All right, it's at 11 a.m. So maybe we're going to tie this into the analysis today. Maybe fall into 11 a.m. and then we rise out of that and we get to finish the counter trend rally. We have CPI on Thursday. That is the big one. I don't think anything else really matters besides the CPI. And to me, it makes sense. Okay, if we do rally going into it, okay, if we fall going into it, that's the purpose of these puts. Okay, if we don't end up doing what I like, we have two scenarios that can pop off or end up popping out, which is we fall into CPI or we rally into CPI. Okay, the charts predict the news. So either or, I will, you know, I'm not going to get wrecked. If we fall into CPI, guys, I'm going to be forced to have a very small amount of puts. All right, enough puts that's going to bring my account well over 100K by the bottom, that's all in all, it's a number that I've had in my mind for quite some time now. I made big money on AMC. I haven't seen that number since then. All right, since I was pretty much learning the game and losing all of my AMC money doing it. You guys wonder how, like, hey, how did I have money to learn along the way? Well, for months, I'll say I had 6 months of funding on playing with big money, and that's when I realized, holy crap, if you like, don't use the big money if you can't handle it, which means you have to build up the skill set, like, to be able to use the big money that the skill set brings. Okay, you can't just gamble and win and then expect, like, hey, this next move I'm gonna nail it because I nailed that one. No, because you had no idea what you're doing. That was me. I had no idea what I was doing. All right, I knew very little about TA, and that was literally the only thing that got me in AMC, combined with the short squeeze thesis. All right, but what I've done over the past few months, I take pride in this, guys. I really do. This is my work. All right, and you guys can see my written work over on Webull. That's I really like doing that, and I started doing it on Facebook because Webull can delete your post if you go against their advertising rules. And apparently, I was doing that for a while, so they were deleting my work, and I did not like it. I did not like it. But yeah, guys, I just entered. I currently have 70 puts right now. My friend Dave is calling me. I'm recording the video, Dave. Do what you got to do. All right, do what you got to do. Let me just text him video. All right, screw off, Dave. Screw off. I'm kidding. Don't screw off, Dave. What is okay, sorry about that. I guess I got a bunch of texts just now. Not all about the market. All right, one was about a mini vacuum cleaner, so there's that. All right, so sorry, got distracted a little bit there. We can X that out. But yeah, guys, if you do want trade alerts, you don't have to use them as trade alerts. Obviously, not a financial advisor. I'm going to have to start putting like a thing at the start of the video or something, like a disclaimer, because, like, yeah, you know, like, the bigger we get, the more risk we have. Now, I'm gonna be straight up. I don't think if anybody really is not being stupid and just does what I do, then yeah, you're gonna make money. All right, it's not going to go against you. I'm at the point where I'm highly confident in that. And also, I don't call out the not swing moves. Now, I will tell you guys what I'm doing. Like, I played the short term price action here. Now, I played it with the strangle. If I didn't have the strangle going, I probably wouldn't have even played puts. What this really is setting us up for is a supreme short entry. All right, so we're gonna go over the risk levels. I actually sent this in a paragraph to my friend Dave. He is my buddy who I am getting rich with, and because hopefully you guys are getting rich too. I'm serious. I really do hope everybody is making an absolute crap ton of money. You guys have the information to do stuff at your fingertips. All right, literally at your fingertips. But yeah, before we go into the TA, we're actually, we'll do this at the end of the video. We're going to do that at the end of the video just because people are probably here for the TA. But all in all, guys, my projection is that we will likely fall into Monday, and then we likely rally off of that just because of, we do know what he just said, Bullard just said, and that was the big hawk going to Dove. All right, so that is, and it's not straight Dove, all right? In the minutes, they did end up saying we can't have a market rally or it's going to reverse, obviously paraphrasing, or it's going to reverse the progress we've made against inflation. These still? All right. Josie Bear. Josie Bear, you look cute stuff. Oh, I love it. I love these guys. They're like literally, I don't have children, guys. I'm 23 years old. But I'm going to be straight up. These dogs are my children. All right. They really are. I love these guys with all my heart. And this is, I'm not going to compare this to having a child because I know for a fact it's way different. All right. Way different. It's a completely different bond. But I'll tell you guys right now that the human to dog relationship, at least from puppies, all right, it's something that I've never experienced before. And if this feels anything like what it's like having a kid, guys, yeah, all right. I look forward to that in the second chapter of my life. All right, I very much so do. But for now, guys, we got aggressive growth here. All right, we have aggressive growth. All right, so we're gonna start off with the technical analysis. All right, and then we will talk about specifically the Feb 3rd 380 puts. That's the only thing that I'm really going to be grabbing, unless we end up going up to that 396.31 gap fill all the way up here. And that is the point where I am going to be. And by the way, what is this, you might ask? What is this? Like I was just saying, I like putting these golden pockets on my chart because they typically end up working. All right. Now, I don't know if it's going to work with this one. It's a counter trend move, and we're going to go over. I think we didn't hit any Fibonacci level, and that's why I said at the beginning of the video, we just hit where we can start reversing off of, right? And it's because of this. So that one you hit it. So actually, we're going to see if all of these counter trends you hit it, guys, we're going to actually have a decent case here for going higher. And I still do think this counter trend is not over, by the way, guys. I really do. But keep in mind, this is the first leg down of these moves, so it's comparable to something like this. All right, but I will say we didn't have that consolidation. It's comparable to, I don't know. I really would only compare it to this bad boy right here. Not really that guy. This or that one, I would be comparing this to. And see, the reason I am doing what I'm doing here is strictly because of what we got going on the daily stochastic down here. So I want you guys to pay attention down here. We're actually going to make this look all pretty for you guys. Take away the white outline there. But I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on right here. Now, I called this out on Twitter earlier this morning, and I sold my calls because of this. I'm all out of calls, and it's literally because we were approaching trendline resistance, which was the pennant. We did end up breaking out. We're slightly above that, but I do think we are going to be reversing. But in the case that we have something like this going on, so right here, you end up having your CCI hinge up. You had a pretty bullish setup. You had a bullish divergence going on right there. All right, sloppy lines there. But just look at what happened in the stochastic, okay? Your blue, which I think that's the K, all right? Let me get that right real quick. So the blue, yeah, so we have the K. The K on this, the stochastic K line went way farther than where the D went. You went all the way up there, all right? And we can, like if Monday's bearish, I have seen it before. I'm pretty sure the blue line can come back down. So like, but every time, I'm serious, guys, every time I've seen it do this, all right, this, it overextends and you have a down day. Okay, this is comparable to what we saw. Let's actually take these off real quick. Now that we see that, we do see all counter trends. Even this counter trend did hit that first retracement. All right, but guess what, guys? We didn't hit crap. We didn't even hit the 0.23 up until now. I don't believe, right? Like, let's just really see. Maybe I'm talking on butt here, right? But no, we did hit the 0.23, but we haven't hit the 0.38, all right? So it could be like what's going on over here, and you just, no, you slightly tapped it, all right? You still hit the 0.38. So guys, so far what I'm seeing on the charts is every single counter trend came up and hit that 0.38. That was the minimum, all right? So for that leg down right here, yeah, you came down and hit this. So, I mean, we got the golden pocket at 0.78 to 0.5, I believe, or 0.618. And then we could call it the green pocket, which is going to be the 0.5 to the 0.618. We could be getting that one. I don't know, all right? But I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to stay up there. And we're going to talk about this, okay? Because it really does, like, CPI is going to be a big catalyst. I'm not going to be playing a strangle off of it just because I'm not going to do it, all right? Well, if I will do it, but only if we fall into it, all right? If we rise into CPI, there's not a chance. There is not a chance I'm playing a strangle going into CPI, and it's strictly because of what we're going to discuss in this video, all right? I'm sorry, guys. This is going to be like a 30-minute video. I'm recording this way earlier today, though. So it should be out to you guys in decent time here, okay? But yeah, guys, the first case for like why, like even though we have this big green day right here, first case for why we could fall into Monday is like, hey, all right, that stochastic is out of control, right? You have the same exact thing going on over here. So that was on this big ass day right there. I remember getting creamed by that day. Look at that. The next day you did end up falling, and it was a minus 2% day. Pretty big, all right? But again, you were just having the retracement from all of that buying pressure you saw the day before that. Look at that, guys. We are past the gap, okay? There is pain associated with what I'm doing. So we're going to talk about that in the end of the video. But I have a decent... I have a decent idea of how much pain could possibly be coming my way in worst case scenario. All right. Not worst case scenario, then great. All right. Like I'm very excited for that. All right. But again, I don't think this counter trend is over. All right. I really do not. And maybe we fall into CPI. All right. Maybe we start falling. Maybe we rally really hard today and get up into this range right here, this 390 to 392 range. And then I really would suggest like, hey, we're probably going to end up falling. But either way, guys, when your stochastic does that on the daily time frame, you either consolidate or you end up having a down day. All right. You had the same exact thing happen over here when you had that day. You were all the way back down here. That's pretty much where we were over there. All right. You're all the way back down here. Next day, look at where this bad boy is. All right. Look at that big ass difference right there. All right. And look what happened. The following 2 days were consolidation days before you end up having that down day. That down day could be CPI. All right. We literally could stay up here and consolidate. All right. I have no idea. I have no crystal ball, but I'm doing what I have to right now to ensure my success on this move. All right. And all in all, I do think I'm going to be able to just pull some more decent gains out of this thing if we do end up falling into Monday. All right. But again, let's just go over the technical setup before going over anything else. We're going to go over every time frame right now, the daily, the 4 hour, and the 1 hour, because that is what we need to be. And actually, let's look at what's going on in the weekly time frame. We are closing out the week. All right. And this is why I don't think the counter trend is over. Right. But I do think we do. I think next week we stall out, and I think we fall flat on our face like very hard. And I think this next leg does bring us very close. Doesn't have to bring us all the way down to lows, but it is highly probable this next one is violent. Like obviously that first move was definitely violent. We fell like 12% on the NASDAQ in so little time right there. I think it was like 7 to 10 trading sessions over here on QQ. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 trading sessions, you fell like 12%. I think it's 12%. Might be 12.3%. No, just about 12%. I do think we have exactly that in store. And if you do end up doing that from that, guys, all right, let's just actually look at QQ. Let's say you end up, and guys, look, you have trendline resistance. I actually called this out on yesterday's. It was either in yesterday's report. I had an arrow pointing to this. I'm sorry, Josie. I'm so sorry. I just need her. Gosh darn it. She likes being under my desk while Micah just goes and lays on the bed. So there's that. Micah loves my bed. It's like her bed now. So it's very cute. And every time I leave them on their place board to sleep and I put the fan there for them, they even though the fan's there, and that's like feeling good for dogs because, you know, they get hot. They still end up, I just wake up and they're still on the bed. So there's that, but that's okay. They're super, super, super cute. So I love waking up to these bad girls. Well, no, not. I was gonna say bad boy, as in I talk about charts, but no, these guys are my very good girls. I love these babies. I love them so much. I love them. They're so good, so good. But yeah, all right. So I don't remember what I was just talking about. Oh, I was talking about this. All right. If we fall 12% from here, guys, the same exact distance we fell over there. That's far. That's far, guys. That's, whew, Jesus. That's all I'm saying, all right? Let's see how far we fell on SPY, and then we're going to put that into perspective as well, all right? So you got an 8% move down there. Let's say we fall from here, and we have an 8% move down. This is what I'm getting at, guys. We will print massively, even if I have to take profits before 350, because I think, like, hey, we're probably going to start another counter trend. Again, I will tell you guys when these things are popping up. Just like I was telling you guys over here, I know I said it a bit early there. I know I started a bit early, but I'm going to be honest. If you want to safely trade it, that's how you do it. You don't trade the counter trend. You wait for your put entry. All right. You could have turned $1,000 into, we'll say $5,000. And then you could have waited on that 5,000. You could have turned, and this is going all in. All right. Keep that in mind. All right. But even if you don't do that, you're still going to make massive gains. $5,000. All right. Now 5,000 turns into buy down there, 25, 30K. All right. And that's sexy. All right. That is very sexy. All right. I am ready for these kinds of gains to be seen in my account. All right. I am very ready. All right. So let's just go over, now that we know, like, hey guys, this next move is going to be violent. All right. Let's go over what's going on. All right. You have your CCI hinged up. You have your stochastic doing what I called out in the beginning of the video, which is something wonky. All right. Very wonky. I don't like it. All right. I don't like it at all. You have your RSI hinged up. So every single momentum oscillator that I watch is hinged up. Let's see what's going on VIX. All right. You're having a fall on VIX. You're in, this is what I was saying. Okay. VIX could rally from what we were doing because, as you see, like these 2 points, we did end up rallying massively, all right? And we were already in overbought territory from like right here, and you still went massively into the upside on Mr. VIX, all right? Which just goes off of the puts and calls being bought and sold on SPX. So there's that. SPX is actually a key component to why I took profits today on those calls and started entering puts. All right. But yeah, you have VIX's CCI all the way back down into almost oversold territory here. I think with one more green day, we're going to have a decent I'm gonna have a decent bounce ready on Mr. VIX. All right. But again, I did call out the possibility that we come down and we end up having this like a big move on SPY, and we come down and form a triple bullish divergence. And that would be, holy crap, guys, that would be a tell and a half. Tell and a half to what is about to come within that week, within days. All right. Like, it's so freaking crazy. All right. And the RSI, guys, it also respects trend lines. Something I learned from one of Bulkowski's books, all right, which is why you guys have probably been wondering, why did I keep this on here? Because of that. I want to see if it respects the trend line, which is actually something like that. All right. But yeah, you got the bearish engulfing candlestick on Mr. VIX right here with oscillators all hinged down. Stochastic is going down. So the exact opposite from SPY. But again, like I said, like, hey, even though you get this massive candlestick right here, dude, like, there's still a solid chance that you end up falling. Like, what the heck is this thing? All right. You're either going to go up and consolidate. And if you do rally up, all right, if you do go anymore, it's probably not going to be the most. Probably going to be a 1 to 2% move that comes on. Oh, look at that. 1 to 2% takes us right to where I think the top risk is. Or we could end up going a little above. All right. We have the 4030 on SPX that JP Morgan does have short calls on. All right. So that does mean they lose. Like, I mean, either way, they're down if they shorted them down here. They're in an overall, like, put trade, all right? It is a bearish trade, so they guaranteed are losing money on this, all right? So if we do end up getting into this up here very quickly, I do expect either JP Morgan to start pushing, like, dude, honestly, JP Morgan probably has enough power to go pressure the Fed, all right? So they would probably pressure the Fed to come out and say something. But also, like I said, in the minutes, they did say that, hey, we can't have a market rally risk all of our work against inflation, all right? And obviously paraphrasing, but that's pretty much the gist of what they said in the minutes, all right? They did say bullish things, so they were dovish and they were hawkish, which was that. The Fed will fight everyone if you end up having this rally, and I think it's going to start in this range. They're going to have a Fed speaker come out, and guess what, guys? Let's actually go back over to the economic calendar. I want to point something out right now, all right? What do we got over? I could have swore I saw. What did I see, dude? Oh, dude, they took it off. No, guys, I swear there were like 3. I swear, I put it. Am I bugging? Am I completely crazy right now? I swear I put it on a. Nah, no freaking way. They took it off, guys. They took it off. There were 3 Fed speakers that were supposed to speak. And I'm just saying, like, that's why I said Monday. Like, maybe we fall on Monday, all right? And that gives markets room not to get into deep overbought territory before CPI, but still end up rallying up to CPI, all right? Which would then set it up to dump. All right, let's go back over to Mr. SPY, okay? You are literally, and this is why I say, guys, gaps, 80% of reversal, all right? 80% chance of reversal, all right? Very high probability. You don't even have to, don't even pay attention to that number, but very high probability that you are going to reverse off gaps. Look at that, guys. You have a triple bearish divergence going on that started all the way over here. Technically, it's a quadruple starting from over here. You have 1 point, you have 2 point, you have 3 points, and you have 4 points, all right? All of them suggest, hey, guys, someone wants this thing up because this is a massive bull trap, all right? But yeah, guys, all right? CPI is then, but you do have that Fed speaker there. And I personally do think, like, hey, if you get into that range on SPY, you're probably going to have the charts predict the news again and have something come out from the Fed that is going to scare people. All right. Because they themselves, that entity cannot, they said in the minutes, they can't have markets stay, like, they can't sustain a rally. They can't have it because then they literally reference the wealth effect without referencing the wealth effect. They didn't say it directly, but that's pretty much exactly what I mean by the wealth effect. All right. If you have a stock market that's rallying and a stock market, like, not even rallying, just staying at elevated levels, everyone's going to have a ton more money in their pocket. They're going to think they have more money, and because they will. But then that comes with increased spending, and then you have more demand. All right. And when you have less the same exact supply, but more demand, there you go. Inflation will come back up. And I told you guys over the next few years, I do think we're going to have a terrible inflation problem that goes back and forth because it's going to be exactly what I'm describing right now. They're going to finally do stuff, and then boom, it's going to be ruined early within like a year. And then boom, they're going to have to do it again. And they're going to have to tighten again. And it's going to be a repeat of the Volcker era that ends with, hey, a big old market crash because someone Volckered, which is going to be they Jeromed us. They Powelled us. They Powed us pretty much. All right. But yeah, coming over to the daily time frame, we're going to finish off QQQ. Now I will say wow, we have QQQ stochastic is also now doing the same thing. I don't like that. I really don't like that, guys. I really don't. Look what happened here. It got extended right there. Look what happened right here. You had the next day was a doji candlestick. Maybe is that called the shooting star? I don't even know. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, guys. All right. My point is clear. That does not end with good things. All right. But especially that does not end with good things. That ends in something exactly like, and it could do this. We could do something like where you rally massively, and then you have a few days of slight upward action. And the next day, I think, was a 1% day. And you went down, and this could be what happens right here, what happened over here. Now, this move was off of CPI, I believe. We're just going to reference it because CPI is coming up, and I think something similar is going to be happening. I think we're going to fall into, like, not similar to what happened here, but something here on the charts, all right? Even if you move up, it's not going to be a big move up. You're going to be stalling out at these resistance levels, all right? You're not going to break that trend line. You're not going to do it, all right? Do not buy into the bull case, right? Because there is no bull case. I've clearly outlined that here on this channel. Sorry, guys, it's going to be a longer video, but that's why I started recording way earlier. I started recording at 2:20 p.m. today instead of like 2:40 or 3. All right. We're going to be going into power hour soon. And I don't know if you get a move down during power hour, so it's not going to be power hour. It's going to be shower all the way back down to these lows. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. But if you don't fall in power hour, I do personally believe you're going to fall into Monday. And I do think those inflation expectations are going to be bullish. So they're going to be dovish. They're going to have a revision down because of what we just heard one of the Fed speakers say literally yesterday. I think it was yesterday or it was the day before. But either way, that was the biggest hawk, and he's not a hawk anymore. He's saying a soft landing is on the table. So why would that be? Unless they're trying to scare the markets and they have like inflation expectations now higher. I don't think that's going to be the case, though, because if they're being honest, why would they say what they already said and then go against that in inflation expectations? I just don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, all right, that's what I'm looking for. All right. But yeah, now that we have the daily charts out of the way, all right, you guys see everything that's going on. Let's go over the 4-hour charts. And this is actually, we're going to start with SPX. And this is why I ended up cutting the calls and going short. All right. I went short earlier than I wanted to. Like I wanted to enter some at this this gap fill right here at 387.89. I actually started buying in $1 early there just because NAM flashbacks from over here that actually aren't NAM flashbacks. They're we'll call them market flashbacks from now on, not NAM. But yeah, market flashbacks from over here when I got completely trapped in my calls and boom. All right, boom. And shout out, guys. Shout out to the bullish Rami candlestick formation that happened here, 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 and here, all off of this trend line. And then boom, we ended up rocketing. This is something that I couldn't have said this was going to happen exactly, but I told you guys the charts are setting up. And again, no bias here. I'm just reading the chart. The charts are setting up for either a tame report today or they're setting up for a weak report, which is going to give you this, all right, which is sexy. It's amazing, all right? You had technical analysis suggesting a rally is completely on the table and more probable than not. And now you also have the news that supports pretty much this going on, all right? And I'm just going to say right now, you're probably going to see the Fed, the narrative where, oh, the Fed pivot's coming back. They don't have to be as harsh, all right? You're probably going to see it back, all right? And guess what? It's not true, all right? So don't buy into it, all right? Buy into the reality check that we provide here on the channel, and that's all you need, all right? But yeah, a 4-hour SPY over here, you're like deeply extended over here. You're at 208 on your CCI. That typically like doesn't happen here on SPY, all right? You were over... You definitely did keep going here. You had one more bullish thing right here, but why are we going to have this impulsive move up here, which also came in the form of a wick? That was off of data that came out. I forgot. Oh, that was the CPI. Never mind. That was the CPI, I believe. Yeah, it was on the 13th. That was definitely the CPI report. And then we sold off all day and faded it. I think like even if we rally, that's one of the scenarios. If we fall going into CPI next week on Thursday, and then we rally on CPI, I will be going all in short after that CPI report, all right? Because you're going to get a big algo rally just like that, and then you're going to open somewhere over here, or maybe it wasn't there. You opened at, I think it was at like 410 you opened at. Yeah, you opened at 410 up there. If you get something like that, I'm going to do the same thing I did over there, all right? I'm going to go extremely heavy in the short side right away because we're probably going to fade that immediately. TA does not suggest you can stay up here. You can't maintain it. But come on back over to the SPX, guys. You have that going on, and then you also have a bearish divergence. Oh, you fixed the bearish divergence, so you don't have a bearish divergence going on anymore on the hourly time frame. Actually, technically, 161.97. Okay, so you don't have a bearish divergence going on the hourly time frame anymore. So that has actually just changed. All right, and this, guys, this is the purpose of not just buying all in at once. All right, I told you guys the risk was there. I did think you were going to at least stall. Well, actually, you did stall at the gap, all right? But you came down and actually flipped the gap, so that is cool. Let's actually see, what are we, we're down 10% right now, so not bad, all right? Not bad. That is perfectly fine, all right? That's perfectly fine, guys, all right? Perfectly fine. And this is like, I'm going to be honest, I was literally going to enter the full position, the Feb 3rd 380 position right here at 389, because that's $1 underneath 390. And look, it would have been an extra 10% in my pocket. Instead of paying, I got an average of 570. All right. Instead of that, I would have an average of I would be able to take the full position right around $5, guys. Actually, the plan went exactly according to plan. Like, I didn't stick to it exactly. But up here, yeah, I said that I believe I said they would be around $5 up here. $4.50 to $5. So it's exactly what you got going on. If you come all the way up here, guys, they're going to be like $3.50 now that they've gotten wrecked with theta, because we've made the plan in this mess here. Now that they have gotten wrecked with theta, and their puts are going to be wrecked because you're literally impulsively going into this. All right. Now that is happening, like those up here at the gap fill, the Febs are going to go for like, guys, probably like 350, like maybe 300 to 350, something like that. If you do get that gap fill, I don't think we get that without having a cool off period. All right. And let's just go back over to SPX. All right. So we're going to reference a bearish divergence. And I do think you're setting up for a bearish divergence here on SPX's 4-hour time frame. I think you are going to end up cooling off. All right. And then I think you're going to come back up. It's going to be something like that. And I think you're going to, maybe you come all the way back up there. I have no idea. All right, but I do personally think you are going to form that bearish divergence here. That was a sloppy drawing. Sloppy drawing there. And I do think you are going to end up having that sick, nasty counter trend move. All right. And obviously that's what we're getting right now. But I think you're going to finish up the sick, nasty counter trend move and fizzle out going into somewhere around this resistance. It's going to either be 390. We're going to say it's 390 to 396 on SPY, where my projection is where you start fizzling out. And that's why if we do get $1 underneath this gap fill, guys, so I'm saving 10K. All right. I've told you guys, like, hey, call me risky all you want. I'm extremely confident in my ability here. You have no reason to be going up right here. I'm a firm believer that you get rich in 1 to 2 years. If you're meant to get rich, because you put in the work and you have mastered your craft. That is literally it. Okay, and guys, by the way, 392s are at 362. I was buying those for 135 this morning on that dip. That's crazy. All right, that is absolutely insane. Hopefully, like, a lot of people made money today. All right, or you didn't make money off the calls today because, like, hey, counter trend move, and you end up, but maybe you were in the strangle and did what I did. All right, I mean, I didn't do exactly what planned on doing with the strangle. We literally fell before. I thought the strangle was purchased so we would rally, I would get to sell the calls and flip the puts and do that. I did the exact opposite. All right, I did the exact opposite here. And we fell, and then I flipped 2 calls. All right, so, and doubled down on those. So that was that. But yeah, guys, I do think you're going to form that bearish divergence here on the 1 hour, on the 4-hour time frame. And the 1 hour time frame is also setting up. Honestly, you're setting up right now, in my personal opinion. Like, either way, you have this bearish divergence. So if you were to finish up this hour and then start turning down, you would have a completed bearish divergence. But what it looks like you're doing is you're probably going to rally into this resistance right here, and then you were going to end up doing that. Oh, I just realized we're on SPY and not SPX. Silly me, silly me. But yeah, either way, it's SPX is the same exact thing. If you want to put this zone on your chart up here, all right, it's literally just right here. If you guys are, if any SPX traders are out there, here you go. All right. But I'm not going to be doing that because I'm not even going to be watching SPX. But I do check it, all right, because everything matters. Everything is all part of our big picture point of view here on the channel. All right. But yeah, guys, all in all, you're solid. All right. You're solid for like the short entry is here, guys. It's here. The 380 puts are currently going for 507. So, like, guys, buy lows. That's a 6x gain for your ass. All right. That's part of my French. All right. 6x gain. All right. That is really good. That is really freaking good. That's turning 5K into 30K. That's turning 1K into 6K. That's turning, in my case, I'm planning on turning like 60K into like a lot of freaking money. That's 60K into 360K buy lows. All right. And we're actually we're gonna have to talk about Mara, guys. We will, because the whole Silvergate thing, I looked it up and they're actually involved with Silvergate. So we are going to have to do, this is going to be the first of ever. We haven't, like, I've done them in the past, but they're deleted now. I've actually done fundamental videos on Mara explaining the intrinsic value of it at certain Bitcoin levels. I don't think Mara is completely off the table. I think it's one of the safer choices, but as my friend advised, we might have to choose Coinbase. All right, I don't want to. I don't like Coinbase. I love my girl Mara, but if she has a chance of, I don't. Now here's the thing: it's not like Silvergate because Mara isn't a lender. She's not a bank. All right, she is literally a crypto miner, and they hold the Bitcoin that they mine. All right, and then yeah, they're crypto miners. All right, they're not what Silvergate was. So you don't have a chance of this happening. Well, maybe there's a chance. That's what we're going to do in the DD video, all right? Maybe there is the chance that this happens, and if that's the case, guys, we're completely avoiding our girl Mara, and we're going to have to find something else. We're going to have to do some DD on crypto companies. I think there's Hut. There's Hut 8. There is Canon, CAN, I think is the ticker. Riot, and then obviously Mara. I still think Mara is going to be the top choice, but we are going to have to see. All right. So stay tuned for that. We're still going to keep watching her. But yeah, that's highly unfortunate, guys. Very highly unfortunate. By the way, guys, I will be selling the rest of the Mara shares today. Oh, not the rest. I only bought a little. Like I said, in my Mara account, I started buying in, and then but the big buy on Mara is going to come from the funds that come from this move down. All right. So I don't have them yet. All right. And if I want to buy, but I'm not doing that. There's no point in buying Mara before the market and crypto goes down. All right. Bitcoin is set up to fall as well with the market. All right. You only have a few more days of staying up here likely, and then you probably end up falling flat on your face and come down into this range, guys. It's going to happen quick. It's going to happen quick, probably within the next 1 to 1.5 months. We see the market's bottom along with Bitcoin, and I'm hyped. I'm hyped about this Bitcoin, all right? As long as we can find a safe avenue to play this without actually buying Bitcoin, in the end, maybe the move will actually be to buy Bitcoin, but I don't want to. I don't like Bitcoin, all right? I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I don't get it. I don't really want to. I don't, like, I'd much rather play my miner, and I'm going to assure myself that I'm playing a miner that is safe, all right? It has to be a safe one, all right? But yeah, guys, all in all, you're set to fail, all right, on SPY, no matter what, from this range right here. So from here to here, this is where you're going to top out at. Very high probability of that. If you end up hitting this today, just realize probably coming down into Monday, all right? You were already extended, like I said, on that stochastic here on SPY, and then you come over to QQ, and it actually has a similar picture now, not nearly overextended as overextended as SPY. But guys, if you end up coming up to this top trend line here, which would be if you hit 271, if you do hit that today, which there's a chance you do hit that, you are carving out this bearish divergence here, and you have room to form the bearish divergence here, all right? You still have some room, and who says that doesn't bring you up another $1.50, all right? $1.30 right there. If you do hit that, guys, I'm just saying there's, in my personal opinion, there's an extremely high likelihood that we do end up going back down to form a bearish divergence on Mr. SPX, all right? So we're going to reference a 4-hour bearish divergence that's going on over, where was it? Where was it? I swear I saw one. I swear, because I was looking at it. I was like, you know, this is probably going to be something similar that happens. Was it over here? It was right here. All right, it was right here. You end up going that. All right, you topped out on your 4-hour TCI, which that's exactly what we got going on right here. We're at 248, guys. Now I'm extremely confident. Holy crap, do we buy more? Do we buy more? Do we buy more? I think the move, guys, is to buy more. I think the move is to buy more. Let's buy some more. Let's buy some more. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Hang on. Give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. Let's actually, while this is loading, I got a slow phone. Got to get a new phone, guys. Got to get a new phone with these funds coming in, baby. I'm hyped, guys. I'm hyped. Honestly, like I still don't think I'll withdraw any money. I really, guys, that's why I'd say it's not about the money, guys. I like literally will keep living this life until I'm like a millionaire, and then I'll withdraw my first like 50K, and I'll be like, hey, this is pretty cool. And then I'll just probably, dude, this is what I find. I find this so fun, guys. This is so fun. We're at 248 on the CCI in the 4-hour time frame. This thing is going to fall flat on its face, guys. Flat on its freaking face. Look at that. We're right. This is actually something to know as well. We're right at the 200 MA. This is very clearly a point of reactions here. You kind of rejected off of there. Oh, look, you literally came up to it. Guys, I am freaking buying more puts. Hang on. Now they're loaded. I think we moved up a little higher on here. Let's get these. Let's get them. All right, guys. I'm going to enter some. No, I'm going to stick with the February 3rds. We will literally just stick with Feb 3rds. What am I talking about, Henry? What are you talking about, silly goose? There's no reason to risk anything here. There's no reason. So, oh, by the way, guys, I know I already told you guys, but just in case you didn't know, your boy got to sell the freaking Jan 20s almost at the exact, not the exact bottom, but I sold them like right at market open the other day when we were down. I think it was like 1% or something like that. Maybe it was like 1.2%. I don't remember. But your boy got to sell those. And dude, today they died. All right. I'm pretty sure they're at like 600 to 700 bucks right now. All right. And your boy got to sell for well above that. So that is freaking sexy. And that's why, guys, they do trade like shares, but since there's very little time on them, they're going to absolutely fall flat on their face if you get a move like that and bring them all the way out the money. They're literally all the way out the money right now. So with that being said, let's now look at Webull. I'm sorry, guys, for the super long update, but today has been nothing less than amazing. I have loved today. All right. I've loved it. I'm not going to re-record this video because this is a very well-defined video. We are well detailed. Is that the word for it? We got a very detailed video here that really tells anybody any questions that you possibly can have. This video is it. All right, this video literally shows you. So let's actually see what they are today. Because oh, by the way, guys, this is something you can do on Webull, and I highly recommend, guys, if you're in contracts, you want to be like watching them. All right, and also if there are contracts you're waiting on an entry for, there you go. You watch them too. All right, so that's the purpose. All right. But over here, we have the 390s. Look at that. They're at 626 bucks, minus 50%. That's what I would have lost, all right? And where you go to the Feb 3rds, and it should only be down like 30%. Still like a decent loss there. Yeah, dude, 45%. Holy shit. So it actually wasn't much better. Guys, so we actually just doubled our games. If we were to fall off a cliff from where we were and never get this counter trend move, we would have been screwed a whole, like, it would have been a 3x by lows instead of the 6x that we have available to us right now on these 380s. All right, because $5 times, so 30 divided by 5, there you go, 6x, 500% gains by lows. They will run in the money. In the money. This is so freaking sexy, guys. This is amazing what's going on here. But now we're going to talk about some risk, all right? So I'm actually going to just read what I sent to my friend earlier. I was explaining what I'm going to be doing, all right? So we're going to, all right, so, so risk on buying 387.89 and it going to the upper gap fill is losing 40 to 50% until it reverses, all right? So that's the pain that guaranteed is going to be coming if you were to do what I did, which I just did it, all right? I'm already in that, I'm in the position that's going to give me that pain if we do end up not seeing a cool down before, all right? Now, I do think we're going to get that cool down and then rally going into CPI next week, all right? Probably a big one, all right? We finally broke to the upside of that consolidation pattern. But again, we also could have the complete fake out, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right here. Like, dude, if we die next week and CPI is something that, what if CPI makes the bottom? What if CPI makes the market bottom, all right? What if it literally makes you fall flat on your face and then you rally all day? All right. What if we get another one of those CPI reports that's so bad, but we already fell so significantly going into it that it shoves us down another 10 to 20 bucks on SPY, and then boom, we're right by lows already, and then boom, you have another counter trend rally setting up. I don't know, but either way, I was not risking not getting the entry. All right, we are at 389. This is literally the reason. This is the point right now where I would have went very close to all in on these Feb 3rd. So let's actually, guys, we gotta buy more. Got to buy more. We're literally at the desired entry. The desired entry. And guys, after this, I am actually I'm 100% in my plan puts, and then I'll tell you guys what I'm going to be doing if you go up to that gap fill. Sorry I'm buying stuff on the spot, but really that's what we got to do. All right, it's what we have to do here on the channel if I want to make these videos while this, or I'm doing one or the other, and I want to provide you guys with this content. It's great. All right, guys, so I'm set. I'm set. All right, we have 9380 puts, guys. 9380 puts with an average of 585. All right. Not the worst. All right, not the worst, not the best. And keep in mind, like, I had to hold through pain already, so there was that. The ones I bought earlier were at 580. I bought for 570, and then I just bought at what was it? I think I bought in the low 500s not too long ago. I bought a 540. And then I just now made that buy at 492. So guys, like, all in all, this is going to be really good, all right? But just realize, like, if you were buying with me up in that 570, 580 range, you're sitting on the same pain I am right now, all right? The calls you bought immediately, they would already be down, like, pretty significant, all right? Like, not super significant, but pretty significant. But overall, like, if you followed my exact plan, you're down 16 freaking percent. And the calls you would have bought in earlier, they would have already been down automatically 10% from where you bought. So, like, 10 to 15 now. All right, because you're getting this one hell of a rally. So, like, all in all, guys, like, you know, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Keep that in mind. All right, this was literally the plan. This was the plan. We're gonna have to sit through the pain, and your boy is holding out with 10K on the side for if you do get the chance to. Now, I'm gonna either buy these when they're at like $4. So if we end up going up there. All right, so if we end up going up to 396, these are going to be $16 out. Am I doing that math right? Yeah, $16 out the money, so 389. All right, we're gonna go over the put. So 389, so 373s. And this is, guys, this is how I plan out my options. All right, they're gonna be at 3. Holy sweet baby Jesus, your boy is gonna be in pain. Your boy gonna be in pain because he bought earlier than he thought he was going to buy the bulk. All right, but you know what? That's okay. That's what FOMO does to you. And that's honestly, I want my safety, guys. Now I am guaranteed to have a lot of freaking money, all right? With these, if I were to hold on to every contract I have right now, what's the math on that? That's $270,000. Obviously, taxes will be taken out. But that's a lot of freaking money, guys. It's a lot of freaking money, guys. There's that. Oh, there's that. Holy shit, yo. And this is what I was saying. If you're going to get rich, it's going to be in 1 to 2 years because it happens really, like, that's what I'm saying. The exponential growth curve, your boys hit it. All right, it's here. But yeah, guys, they're gonna be down there. So I will either be buying those or I will be buying Jan 20 380s. All right, because they're going, or I'll probably buy. I don't know. It's either gonna be the 390 380s, but the 380s I know are gonna get demolished because they're so far out the money. But I do think, like, by that expiration, they're gonna get well in the money. I think CPI is gonna fall, like, it's gonna have the market fall flat in the face. There's that. All right, so we're gonna finish up the video. All right, this is it. All right, I hope that was enough detail. 53 freaking minutes of detail. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. But all in all, that's why I recorded this a little early, guys. I'm gonna advise in the comment section to watch this on 2x speed. All right, because why not? All right, I actually watch my YouTube videos most of the time on 2x speed, just because. Why not? I'm just accustomed to it. I listen to my audiobooks on 1.5x speed, so. I'm just used to people talking quicker, I guess. Maybe that's why I talk so quick. I don't know. All right, guys. So with that being said, you guys know my projection. We likely, doesn't have to happen, all right? We have 2 scenarios here, all right? We can keep rallying. Well, 2 scenarios going into next week, all right? We keep rallying up to today. We can get into this range right here. And then, again, I give it a very high probability you do fall, all right? Or you could stay where you are right now, maybe go up a little higher on Monday, all right? and then end up reversing. But all in all, we're probably going to consolidate here. We probably will end up consolidating here around this range here until CPI, if we are going to fall on CPI. If we're not going to fall on CPI, and that's why I just did what I did in buying all these puts so freaking early here and sitting in so much pain right now, all right? 8 grand in the negative, all right? But again, it's all right, because it's according to the plan and security here. I'm securing my success, all right? So even if I got to sit on 50% losses here, which that would suck ass, all right? But even if that does happen, I do know it will absolutely flourish, all right? And that's the point of having that extra 10K on the side. And yes, I know what I'm doing is risky. I get it, all right? But that's the point of having that on the side to then make up for, like, hey, you took that pain. It's not all for nothing, all right? And there's Jan 20 contracts. They would probably go from 10K, so I'll be down 30K. But by the time we get back to 380 and these get in the money, then those Jan 20 contracts will go and turn my 10K into 30 to 40K. So that's my thinking here, all right? That is it. But yeah, guys, you either fall going into CPI or you rise or consolidate going into CPI, and then you have one hell of a sell-off going off of that. Or you get a rip. You get exactly what we had going on, and we've literally consolidated for so long here. Like, we had this fall for like 2 weeks, and then we consolidated for 2 weeks. But it's crazy to think that the last CPI report was literally right here and caused that. Or we have exactly what happened on this last CPI day, and you gap up. You fall into CPI, and then you fall into CPI, then you rally hard off CPI, and then you end up fading it out very quick. That's like, those are the only 2 scenarios that I see playing out. That's why I'm in the puts early. All right. Well, technically, it's not early. Technically, like, I mean, I should have entered here instead of fucking down here, like, as much as I did. But, you know, it all worked out. It all worked out. We're established. We're all right. All right. I still, like, again, like, yeah, maybe the buy was nah, you know what? Screw it. All right. That's hindsight thinking. And again, here on this channel, I don't support hindsight thinking because, like, it's very easy to kick yourself when you're down. And that's when it happens in hindsight, all right? But, you know, until it happens, you never know, all right? So, like, since you never know, you have to make the mistakes to then know, all right? And maybe in the future, maybe I change this approach that I just, like, outlined this whole video, all right? Maybe I change this, all right? As more money comes in, less risk will probably be taken for myself. But I'm going to be completely honest. I'm doing the same exact thing that I was, not the same thing that I was doing down there. But when I see a very nice setup, all right, my nest egg, we'll call it, all right, I made a lot of money off of this thing. It probably made like 20K off of it. I don't remember, but it was like a decent chunk of change. I remember literally doing it right at the top of this wedge, and I saw all this resistance, and I literally got to do exactly what we're doing here. We bought the top over here, all right, and then we shorted the top over here, so that's 2 top shorts we got right here. All right. But we also did that back here. So if you are not new to the channel, you know, we literally called out the same exact thing. We're in the golden pocket, 200 MA, trend line resistance. All right. You had the same exact setup without the gap fill. All right. And then you reversed and fell out of your falling wedge. It's just what we had over here. And yeah, guys. All right. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.